you covered the layers to a breakup beautifully well, and Dan brought up "Man Up." Like that song starts with tears, and like you talk about how your family feels about this person. I mean, like I've never heard that really covered in a record like that before. So that's stood out to me. Was that was that a hard record to write, or was that easy? Because
It's
it's made up of your
okay.
views, but everybody else's views too. So it's a lot.
It's actually it's funny because I I remember when I played it for my brother the first time. He's like, "Oh, don't bring me into this." That was a song. The idea of "Man Up" actually came out of a conversation that I was having with my dad about this person that I was going through this whole situation with. My dad gives great advice, and well, yeah, most of the time. And I was talking to him about this whole situation, and we were going back and forth, and he helped me, come up with just like basically the courage to say what I was really feeling to this person. And I said that, and there was just a lot of unnecessary back and forth happening. And there was a response in there that I called my dad, and I was like, "Dad, you're not going to believe what this person said." And I said it, and my dad was like, "Dude, this guy's got to man up." And I was like, "That's hilarious." And it was all said in light and in humor, and we were laughing on the phone. But when it came to writing it, it kind of actually just happened. Like the flow, no like pun intended, but just literally just kind of that first verse came out, and then the rest of it was just like we had so much fun with that record. And D Mile, who produced the track, suddenly is like auto-tuning babies and like throwing them in there, and it just became like super fun. And I think that record is, it is a weird thing to like bring other people's perspective into it, but this was something that affected me so deeply that it ultimately affected my family. And yeah, but for the record, I was pissed off, but I got nothing but love. So throwing that out there.
Is there a song off this EP that should be the hardest for this person to listen to?
I mean, I hope all of them are hard.
Well, because like "Man Up" must be difficult because the baby's crying. There's a lot.
I think that "Man Up" is ultimately just saying like, grow up. If you claim to be such a man, then act like one. Own up to your mistakes and be honest. I know that like obviously we've all been in situations where maybe that's not the easiest thing to be, but if you love someone, man, you know what you're doing. If you know how you're going to hurt them, and you know how you're going to avoid everything you can to hurt them. So that was, yeah.
But that's a hard message to hear. Sorry, Dan.
No, I was gonna say, I thought the baby's crying represented like this person acting like a child.
I mean, listen, I think that, that's where a lot of the fun comes into this record. Again, like I said, it just literally became a matter of us like messing around with really fun and crazy tunes. And this record is probably the most different thing I've ever done, which is why I love it so much, because it feels like something new and fresh and exciting for me. But yeah, I mean, it's just saying that, grow up and, hold yourself accountable.
Was that first verse in "Man Up", was that written as a poem? Was that written almost as a rap? Because you're kind of rapping, but you're not actually rapping.
Right. No, actually, it literally happened in the room. I mean, when I wrote this song with my friend Kennedy and Brett McLaughlin, that was the first session, and I had this idea, "Man Up." I was telling him about it. D Mouse was kind of putting together this track, and all of a sudden we just kind of started like, with the whole "Man Up" melody, which is obviously very simple and like very repetitive. And then when it came to, he was just playing this track again that was already so different than anything I had done, and it just kind of, I guess, pulled something different out of me. I wasn't going to, any certain kind of melody, any kind of R&B melody, which I feel like I instinctively will do, or I don't know. It felt like a conversation, and that's just how it happened. But what's so cool is it literally like one line after the other. We were never stuck on that first verse. It's just like flew.
Do you question any of the lyrics you're putting out in these songs? Because I mean, you're really putting it all out there. You're not hiding anything.
No, not at this point. It's coming out.
Were there any lyrics that you had to cut from it because you're like, okay, maybe that's where I draw the line? Because, whatever you say, people are going to create their own stories about your relationship from your own lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what happens. I think, there are people that know me know my heart and know that, again, I can sit here and tell you guys that I wrote these songs when I was pissed off and upset and really, really hurt, and went through something with someone who, went from being everything in my world to just gone. And that affects you in more than one way. And like I said, there's a wide range of emotions. And I think that, listen, people can say what they want or make of it what they will, but there's no denying that we all feel this when we go through something that hurts us. And yeah, I mean, look, I said at the beginning too, I'll say it again, I've got nothing but love. These are records that represent a time in my life where I was just being honest. And I think that everybody's entitled to being honest and sharing their truth.
Amen.